faculty member of the UP College of Fine Arts and is also a member of the Concerned Artists of the Philippines. Let us welcome Lisa Ito.
I first heard of the name Luis Jalandoni as a young campus journalist assigned to cover a university forum on the peace negotiations between the GRP and the National Democratic Front. Back then, I remember being slightly amazed upon learning that the chairman of the NDF peace negotiating panel was a priest turned revolutionary, and of course curiously wondered how, why, and how this came to be. The book Luis Jalandoni, Revolutionary, an Illustrated Biography surfaces the extraordinary story behind this transformation. What makes it doubly special is that it mainly employs comics to tell this story. And the local use of comics can be traced back to the late 1920s in the history of Philippine art. But unlike comics in the tradition of Kenkoy, which is loved for its entertaining and humorous bent, the ones in the book are more historical and narrative in nature, committed to portraying a revolutionary's life through realism. The book is stunning on its own as a visual arts project, but it also harks back to a longer tradition of cultural resistance using popular forms. Over the past 4 decades, the National Democratic Movement has used comics, cartoons, and illustration for propaganda and educational materials to convey political messages to different publics. Art historian Alice Villarmo, for instance, has written about how organizations such as the Nagkakaisang Progresibong Artista at Arkitekto ng 1971 or NPAA, as well as the Social Realists, produced comics versions of Amado Guerrero's Lipunan ng Rebolusyong Pilipino, as well as materials for sectoral campaigns. Underground publications such as Ulos also made use of comics and illustrations. All of these forms try to infuse revolutionary content and purpose into popular forms of art. Like many of these past projects of the movement, the book Luis Jalandoni, Revolutionary uses and at the same time departs from modes and tropes found in traditional comics. Yes, it recounts adventures, but these were staged not in far-away mythical lands, but in the countrysides and cities of the Philippines, where semi-feudal exploitation and fascist rule are everyday realities. Yes, it also describes daring exploits and deeds, but these are not achieved through the wielding of supernatural or superhuman powers, but through a resolve to stand by what is just and right. Yes, it even offers us a share of romance with a love story, but this is not one arising from a predestined, inevitable meeting of hearts, but forged during the shared struggle for the people. The book is commendable for the accounts, testimonies, and memories gathered into a single narrative by its author, Aina Aleco Silverio, who before that authored a book on another pillar of the movement, Christine Beltran. Credit should also be given to the artists who made visible the facets and transitional phases of Luis's life. They represent different generations of progressive artists from inside and outside of the Philippines, each with distinct styles and using different artistic strategies which complement the text. Utilizing new media such as digital painting, Robert Elias combines digital technology and photographic archives to convey both the nostalgia and grit of Luis's childhood, marked by both affluence and the experience of war. Max Santiago also combines illustration with digital elements to depict Jalandoni's journey into the simple life of priesthood, weaving through slums and rural communities, finishing his itinerant studies and settling back in Negros. Enrico Maniago's delicate and wiry style portrays in great detail the unease and ferment of feudal Negros, conveying not only a sense of place, but also the encounters with exploitation that occur within these spaces. Renan Ortiz's strong figures mirror the resoluteness of Luis's transition and recruitment into the revolutionary cause. Leonilo or Neil Doloricon's disciplined linear aesthetic and strong sense of composition also complement the narratives of Jalandoni's life in the underground, as well as his participation in the resistance against martial law. Other turning points in Louie's biography are also effectively captured by Fernando Argosino, who uses dramatic contrasts between light and dark to portray life in prison. Mervyn Malonzo's expressionistic style of illustration also gives a psychological intensity to vignettes and portraits of Jalandoni during his escape and exile. We should also mention the woodworking layout done by artist Bianca Payawal, and of course, last but not the least, the portrait of Louis Jalandoni by Rafael Maniado, which captures the revolutionary optimism that has sustained him and many others on through to this day. The power of the image lies in how it can capture not only visible reality, but also somehow unseen shifts in consciousness. These changing portraits of Louis within the book reveal his process of transformation from a child within a society in transition to a steadfast priest dedicated to service, from a respected supporter and member of the underground movement to indeed a statesman of the revolutionary government that the NDF also embodies. Altogether, these panels of composite images and texts work to build a portrait of a comrade who has not only lived through the most interesting of times, but who has also served as a steadfast pillar for radical social change. I view the biography as a still unfinished project, where Louie and Connie are here with us today, ready to continue this narrative through their presence in practice, alongside others in the struggle for national liberation and democracy. As individuals within a movement, I think each revolutionary has their own special story of transformation. Louie and Connie, thank you for sharing yours. It is humbling to think how your extraordinary journey from Negros to the Netherlands belongs to a larger narrative of change, part of the ever-shifting expanse and advance of the Philippine Revolution. Maraming salamat. Mabuhay kayo, Louie and Connie and Louis Jalandoni. Mabuhay ang revolusyon at sambayan ng Pilipinas.